Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Weather is okay now.
Yeah, it's pretty good now.
Shall we start?
Yes. Yes, Rola.
Okay. Let me share my screen. You can see my screen, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yep.
Okay. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jai Gopi Jana Giridharadhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari.
Jaya Yashodanandana Brajachandana
Yashodanandana
Yashodanandana Brajachandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Brajachandana Yashodanandana Brajachandana Yashodanandana Brajanarindana
Yashodanandana Brajaranandana
Yashodanandana Brajanarindana
Yashodanandana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Vajayara Dhamadava Indra Bihari Vajayara Dhamadava Indra Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे
जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे
जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे
जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे
जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ राधे
जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ राधे
जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे
जय राधा दामोदर राधे
जय राधा रमण राधा रमण राधे
जय राधा
जय राधा काला चंदी राधा काला चंदी राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा
जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा
जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे
जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे
जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे सीताराम सीताराम मत प्यारे तो सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
रघुपति राघव राजा पतित पावन सीताराम
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा
जय प्रभुपदा शिला प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा Hari Bol. Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर की
जय
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय
नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की
जय
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की
जय
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की
जय
ब्रज भूमि वृंदावन धाम की
जय
मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की
जय
पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की
जय
गंगा मैया यमुना मैया की
जय
तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की
जय
सामवेद भक्त वृंद की
जय
Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Distribution and Prasadam Distribution की
जय
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की
जय
Tagore Premanande.
हरि हरि बोल
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्ण
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्ण
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्ण
All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki
जय
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Rajakacharya. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshakarane. Hare Krishna everybody.
हरे कृष्ण
How's everybody doing?
good
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Okay, so today we will read from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And does everybody have the Bhagavatam? Okay, so you can bring. You have the Bhagavatam, Pranav?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, perfect. So you can get the 10th canto, and we are going to read from Worshipping of Govardhan Hill, so 24th chapter. So I'll wait for everybody. 10th canto, 24th chapter. Once you all have it, let me know. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, does everybody have it?
Yes,
You
Prabhuji.
have the book, Prabhuji?
I don't have the book right now at front of me, but I have the Veda base page.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we'll start reading from Worshipping of Govardhan Hill. So this month, as we all know, is the Kartik month. It's a very, very special month. And today is the wonderful Ekadashi. So today is Utthana Ekadashi. And it is the last Ekadashi of this Kartik 2022. And like Srila Prabhupada says, that Kartik month is like a sale month. You know, like when we have sale in retail stores, then we are able to get the same item for very easily, right? For cheaper. So same way in Kartik month, it is a discount sale where we are able to quickly progress in our spiritual lives by just doing, by meditating on Krishna and reading his pastimes, understanding his glories, chanting his holy name. We're able to get very, very huge benefit. And these last 5 days are called Bhishma Panchak days. And these 5 days are superposed with a lot of devotional service and activities. And we get a lot of benefit. So today, as it was raining a lot, and there was also lots of tornadoes and hailstorms predicted, I thought today it will be very nice for us to meditate on worshipping the Govardhan hill. So the story goes that in Vrindavan, we had all the Brajvasis, they were getting ready to, every year they used to pray to Lord Indra. And they used to pray to Lord Indra because Lord Indra was giving them rain. But one year, our dear Lord Krishna, he explains to Nanda Maharaj that, we don't need to pray to Krishna, we don't need to pray to Indra because everything is coming from Giriraj. So today let us read from chapter 10, Canto 10, chapter 24, on how the Brajvasis are just getting ready to prepare for sacrifice to Indra, and then what our dear Lalla says. So I will start the summary, and then each one of us, we can read 5 verses. We'll just read the translation today. So in this chapter, Lord Shri Krishna, he crushes the pride of Indra by prohibiting a sacrifice which is intended for him and initiating a substitute sacrifice in worship of Govardhan hill. When Shri Krishna saw the cowherd men busily preparing for the sacrifice to Indra, he inquired about it from their king, Nanda. Nanda explained that the rain given by Indra enables all living entities to maintain their lives, and therefore this sacrifice would be executed to satisfy him. Krishna responded, quote, "It is because of karma alone that living entities take their birth in a certain body, experience varieties of happiness and suffering in that body, and then give it up as the karma pertaining to it runs out. Thus, it is karma alone that is our enemy, our friend, our guru, and our Lord. And Indra can do nothing to alter the happiness and distress of anyone, for everyone is tightly bound by his karmic reactions. The material modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance bring about the creation, maintenance, and destruction of this world. The clouds give forth rain when they are impelled by the mode of passion, and cowherds prosper by protecting the cows. Furthermore, the cowherd's proper residence is in the forest and on the hills. Therefore, you should offer worship to the cows, the Brahmanas, and Govardhan hill." Unquote. After Krishna spoke thus, he arranged for the cowherd men to worship Govardhan with the paraphernalia collected for the sacrifice to Indra. He then assumed a huge, unprecedented transcendental form and devoured all the food and other offerings presented to Govardhan. So this is an important point. Lots of devotees, or a lot of people, they ask that, is Giriraj a devotee or is Giriraj Krishna, right? So here Srila Prabhupada is explaining that Krishna, he assumed a huge, unprecedented transcendental form and devoured all the food and other offerings presented to Govardhan. And because Krishna touched Giriraj, Giriraj is not different from Krishna. As he did, this is Krishna, as he did so, he proclaimed to the cowherd community that although they had worshipped Indra for so long, he had never appeared in person, whereas Govardhan himself had now manifested before their eyes, and eaten their offerings of foodstuffs. Therefore, they should all now offer obeisances to Govardhan Hill. Then Lord Krishna joined the cowherds in offering obeisances to his own newly assumed form. So let us read the translations, dear devotees. Shall we start with Pranav? Pranav, would you like to read?
Okay.
And you can read just the translations, and each of us can read 5 texts each.
Okay. Shukadeva Goswami said, while staying in that very place with his brother Baladeva, Lord Krishna happened to see the cowherd men busily arranging for a sacrifice to Indra. Being the omniscient Supersoul, the Supreme Lord Krishna already understood the situation. Yet he still humbly inquired from the elders, headed by his father Nanda Maharaja. Lord Krishna said, "My dear father, kindly explain to me what this great endeavor of yours is all about. What is it meant to accomplish? If this is a ritual sacrifice, then for whose satisfaction is it intended, and by what means is it going to be executed? Please tell me about it, O Father. I have a great desire to know, and I am ready to hear in good faith. Certainly no secrets are to be kept by saintly personalities, who see all others as equal to themselves, who have no conception of mine or another's, and who do not consider who is a friend, who is an enemy, and who is neutral. One who is neutral may be avoided like an enemy, but a friend should be considered like one's own self."
Okay, Sai Prabhu, would you like to read from 6 to 10?
When people in this world perform activities, sometimes they understand what they are doing and sometimes they don't. Those who know what they are doing achieve success in their work, whereas ignorant people do not. Such being the case, the ritualistic endeavor of yours should be clearly explained to me. It is a ceremony based on scriptural injunction, or simply a custom of ordinary society. Nanda Maharaja replied, "The great Lord Indra is the controller of the rain. The clouds are his personal representatives, and they directly provide rainwater, which gives happiness and sustenance to all creatures. Sustenance to all creatures. Not only we, my dear son, but also many other men worship him. The Lord and Master of rain-giving clouds, we offer him grain and other paraphernalia of worship produced through his own discharge in the form of rain. By accepting the remnants of sacrifices performed to Indra, people sustain their lives and accomplish threefold aims of religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification. Thus, Lord Indra is the agent responsible for the fruitive success of industrious people."
Okay, text 11. Prabhuji, is Mataji there? Would you like to read?
No, she's not available here.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay, so let us go to Abhinav Prabhu.
This religious principle is based on sound tradition. Anyone who rejects it out of lust, enmity, fear, or greed will certainly fail to achieve good fortune. Sukadev Goswami said, when Lord Keshava heard the statements of his father, Nanda, and the other senior residents of Braj, he addressed his father as follows to arouse anger in Lord Indra. Lord Krishna said, it is by the force of karma that a living entity takes birth, and it is by the karma alone that he meets his destruction. His happiness, distress, fear, and sense of security all arise as the effects of karma. Even if there is some supreme controller who awards all other results of their activities, he must also depend on a performers engaging in activity. After all, there is no question of being the bestower of fruitive results unless fruitive activities have actually been performed. Living beings in this world are forced to experience the consequences of their own particular previous work. Since Lord Indra cannot in any way change the destiny of human beings, which is born of their own nature, why should people worship him?
Hmm. So this is our Krishna explaining to Nanda Maharaj. Okay. 16 to 20. Mataji. Renuka Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Every individual is under the control of his own conditioned nature, and thus he must follow that nature. This entire universe, with all its demigods, demons, and human beings, is based on the conditioned nature of the living entities. Because it is karma that causes the conditioned living entity to accept and then give up different high and low grade material bodies, this karma is his enemy, friend, and neutral witness, his spiritual master and controlling lord. Therefore, one should seriously worship work itself. A person should remain in the position corresponding to his nature and should perform his own duty. Indeed, that by which we may live nicely is really our worshipable deity. If one thing is actually sustaining our life, but we take shelter of something else, how can we achieve any real benefit? We would be like an unfaithful woman who can never achieve any actual benefit by consorting with her paramour. The Brahmana maintains his life by studying and teaching the Vedas, the member of the royal orders by protecting the earth, the Vaishyas by trade, and the Shudra by serving the higher twice born classes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Bhakti Priya Mataji. 21 to 25.
Hare Krishna. The occupational duties of the Vaishya are conceived in 4 divisions: farming, commerce, cow protection, and money lending. Out of these, we as a community are always engaged in cow protection. Text 22. The causes of creation, maintenance, and destruction are the 3 modes of nature, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. In particular, the mode of passion creates this universe and thus and through sexual combination causes it to become full of variety. Text number 23. Impelled by the material mode of passion, the clouds pour down their rain everywhere, and by this rain all creatures gain their sustenance. What has the great Indra to do with this arrangement? Text number 24. My dear father, our home is not in the cities or towns or villages. Being forest dwellers, we always live in the forest and on the hills. Text 25. Therefore, may a sacrifice for the pleasure of the cows, the Brahmanas, and Govardhana hill begin. With all the paraphernalia collected for worshipping Indra, let this sacrifice be performed instead. Should I read 26 also?
No, Mataji. So is somebody else with you, Priyanka or Nanika?
No, Prabhuji, they are not.
They're not here. Okay. All right. I'll read from 26 to 30. And then we can follow the same sequence. 26. Let many different kinds of food be cooked, from sweet rice to vegetable soups. Many kind of fancy cakes, both baked and fried, should be prepared. And all the available milk products should be taken for this sacrifice. The Brahmanas who are learned in the Vedic mantras must properly invoke the sacrificial fires. Then you should feed the priests with nicely prepared food and reward them with cows and other gifts. After giving the appropriate food to everyone else, including such fallen souls as dogs and dog eaters, you should give grass to the cows and then present your respectful offerings to Govardhan Hill. After everyone has eaten to his satisfaction, you should all dress and decorate yourself handsomely, smear your bodies with sandalwood paste, and then circumambulate the cows, the Brahmanas, the sacrificial fires, and Govardhan Hill. This is my idea, O Father, and you may carry it out if it appeals to you. Such a sacrifice will be very dear to the cows, the Brahmanas, and Govardhan Hill, and also to me. Okay, 31. Pranav.
Shanti wants to.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Guruji. Yes. Mataji, you can read from 31 to 35.
Sure, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shukadeva Goswami said, Lord Krishna, who is himself powerful time, desired to destroy the false pride of Lord Indra. When Nanda and the other senior men of Vrindavana heard of Sri Krishna's statement, they accepted his words as proper. The cowherd community then did all that Madhusudana had suggested. They arranged for the Brahmanas to recite the auspicious Vedic mantras, and using the paraphernalia that had been intended for Indra's sacrifice, they presented offerings to Govardhana hill. And the Brahmanas, with reverential respect, they also gave grass to the cows, then placing the cows, bulls, calves in front of them, they circumambulated Govardhana. As the beautifully ornamented cowherd ladies followed along, riding on wagons drawn by oxen, they sang the glories of Lord Krishna, and their songs mingled with the Brahmanas' chanting of benedictions. Krishna then assumed an unprecedented huge form of instill faith in the cowherd men, declaring, I am Govardhana mountain. He ate the abundant offerings.
Jai.
Hare
Okay, so
Krishna.
this is important here where he says, Krishna is saying, I am Govardhan mountain. He is Govardhan. Okay, 36. Pranav.
Together with the people of Raja, the Lord bowed down to this form of Govardhana hill, thus in effect offering obeisances to himself. Then he said, Just see how this hill has appeared in person and bestowed mercy upon us. Text 37. This Govardhana hill, assuming any form he wishes, will kill any residents of the forest who neglect him. Therefore, let us pay our obeisances to him for the safety of ourselves and our cows. Text 38. The members of the cowherd community, having thus been inspired by Lord Vasudeva to properly execute the sacrifice to Govardhana hill, the cows and the Brahmanas returned with Lord Krishna to their village Vraja.
Okay, so right now, Krishna was able to explain to Nanda Maharaj and all the Vrajvasis that there is no need for us to worship Indra and we should instead worship Govardhan hill. And as soon as he explained, Nanda Maharaj and all the devotees, they immediately agreed to Krishna's proposal, right? So now let's read the next chapter, 25. Okay, so Lord Krishna is now lifting Govardhan hill. So I'll read the summary. This chapter describes how Lord Indra was overcome by anger when the residents of Raja cancelled his sacrifice, how he tried to punish them by sending forth a devastating rainfall to Vrindavan, and how Lord Sri Krishna protected Gokula by lifting Govardhan hill and for 7 days using it as an umbrella to ward off the rain. Indra, angered at the disruption of the sacrifice meant for him, and falsely presuming himself the supreme controller, said, quote, People often give up the pursuit of transcendental knowledge, the means for self-realization, and imagine that they can cross over the ocean of material existence by mundane fruitive sacrifices. Similarly, these cowherd men have become intoxicated by pride and have offended me by taking shelter of an ignorant, ordinary child, Krishna. To remove this supposed pride of the residents of Raja, Indra sent the clouds known as Samvartaka, whose function is to facilitate the destruction of the world. So he sent these clouds, Samvartaka. He sent them to harass the Vrajvasis with downpours of rain and hail. The cowherd community was very disturbed by this and approached Krishna for shelter. Understanding that this trouble was the work of Indra, Krishna decided to smash to pieces Indra's false prestige, and thus he lifted Govardhan hill with one hand. He then invited the entire cowherd community to take shelter in the dry space beneath the mountain. For 7 successive days, he held up the hill, until Indra finally understood Krishna's mystic power and ordered the clouds to withdraw. When the cowherd villagers emerged from beneath the mountain, Krishna put Govardhan Hill back in its proper place. The cowherds were in ecstasy, showing loving symptoms such as flowing tears and bodily hair standing on end. They embraced Krishna and offered him benedictions according to their respective positions, while the demigods in heaven rained down flowers and sang the Lord's praises. Text 1, Abhinav Prabhu. Oh, Sai Prabhu, sorry. Sai Prabhu, you can read from 1 to 5.
So before reading that, I have two questions.
Yes, Prabhuji.
When Krishna is 8 years old and he is asking the elders to follow his, whatever he's saying. So what is the perspective of Rajvasis in that situation? Why are they believing Krishna?
Nice question. Yes, Prabhuji. So one thing we have to remember is Nanda Maharaj, all the Vrajvasis, they are covered by the Yoga Maya potency of Krishna. So they don't know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? They are just thinking that he is our dear son, Krishna. And the reason why Krishna has done that is because he wants to have that loving relationship with his devotees. Because as soon as devotees have this feeling that, oh, this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, immediately their mood changes, right? We have a mood of awe and reverence when we know that this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So coming to your question, that when Krishna, as an 8-year-old boy, explains this to Nanda Maharaj, if you notice in chapter 24, he first gives a lot of explanation on why we should not pray to Indra. That is the first point. And second, he says that this will give a lot of pleasure to the cows, it will give a lot of pleasure to Govardhan Hill, and it will give a lot of pleasure to Brahmanas, and it will give a lot of pleasure to me, right? And Nanda Maharaj, he loves his child so much, and the Brajvasis love Krishna so much, that immediately they all agreed that yes, what you're saying is correct, and and this will give pleasure to Krishna. So let us do this. Hope this helps, Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Text 5, right?
1 to 5.
Okay, Shukadeva Goswami said, "My dear King Parikshit, when Indra understood that his sacrifice had been put aside, he became furious with Nanda Maharaja and the other cowhead men who were accepting Krishna as their lord. Angry Indra sent forth the clouds of universal destruction, known as Samvartaka. Imagining himself the supreme controller, he spoke as follows. Indra said, 'Just see how these cowherd men living in the forest have become so greatly intoxicated by their prosperity, they have surrendered to an ordinary human being, Krishna, and thus they have offended the gods. Their taking shelter of Krishna is just like the foolish attempt of men who abandon transcendental knowledge of the self and instead try to cross over the great ocean of material existence in the false boats of fruitive ritual sacrifices. These cowherd men have acted inimically toward me by taking shelter of this ordinary human being, Krishna, who thinks himself very wise, but who is simply a foolish, arrogant, over-talkative child.'"
Text 6. Abhinav Prabhu.
To the clouds of destruction, King Indra said, "The prosperity of these people has made them mad with pride, and their arrogance is backed up by Krishna. Now go and remove their pride and bring their animals to destruction. I will follow you to Vraj, riding on my elephant Aravat, and taking with me the swift and powerful wind gods to decimate the cowherd village of Nand Maharaj." Sukhdev Goswami said, "On Indra's order, the clouds of universal destruction, released untimely from their bonds, went to the cowherd pastures of Nand Maharaj. There they began to torment the inhabitants by powerfully pouring down torrents of rain upon them. Propelled by the fearsome wind gods, the clouds blazed with lightning bolts and roared with thunder as they hurled down hailstones. As the clouds released torrents of rain as thick as massive columns, the earth was submerged in the flood, and high ground could no longer be distinguished from low.
Yeah.
Columns of ice.
Okay. Yeah, Renuka Mataji. Seems familiar, right? From what happened today.
Probably columns of ice would be really disturbing.
Columns. Yeah, the rain was like columns. Pillars of rain. Okay, 11 Mataji.
Hare Krishna. The cows and other animals, shivering from the excessive rain and wind, and the cowherd men and ladies, pained by the cold, all approached Lord Govinda for shelter. Trembling from the distress brought about by the severe rainfall and trying to cover their heads and calves with their own bodies, the cows approached the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The cowherd men and women addressed the Lord, Krishna, Krishna, O most fortunate one, please deliver the cows from the wrath of Indra. O Lord, you are so affectionate to your devotees, please save us also. Seeing the inhabitants of his Gokula rendered practically unconscious by the onslaught of hail and blasting wind, the Supreme Lord Hari understood that this was the work of angry Indra. Shri Krishna said to himself, because we have stopped his sacrifice, Indra has caused this unusually fierce, unseasonable rain together with terrible winds and hail. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Bhakti Priya Mataji.
Yes, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
16 Mataji. 16 to 20.
Right, okay. By my mystic power, I will completely counteract this disturbance caused by Indra. Demigods like Indra are proud of their opulence, and out of foolishness, they falsely consider themselves the Lord of the universe. I will now destroy such ignorance. Since the text number 17, since the demigods are endowed with the mode of goodness, the false pride of considering oneself the Lord should certainly not affect them. When I break the false prestige of those bereft of goodness, my purpose is to bring them relief. Text number 18. I must therefore protect the cowherd community by my transcendental potency, for I am their shelter. I am their master, and indeed they are my own family. After all, I have taken a vow to protect my devotees. Text number 19. Having said this, Lord Krishna, who is Vishnu himself, picked up Govardhana hill with one hand and held it aloft just as easily as a child holds up a mushroom. Text number 20. The Lord then addressed the cowherd community, O mother, O father, O residents of Praja, if you wish, you may now come under this hill with your cows.
Okay, 21. Pranav.
Shanti wants to talk.
Okay, yes, Prabhuji. 21 to 25, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. You should have no fear from this mountain will fall from my hand, and don't be afraid of the wind and rain, for your deliverance from these afflictions has already been arranged. Their minds thus pacified by Lord Krishna, they all entered beneath the hill, where they found ample room for themselves and all their cows, wagons, servants, priests, and for all other members of the community as well. Lord Krishna, forgetting hunger and thirst and putting aside all considerations of personal pleasure, stood there holding up the hill for 7 days as the people of Raja gazed upon him. When Indra observed this exhibition of Lord Krishna's mystic power, he became most astonished. Pulled down from his platform of false pride and his intentions thwarted, he ordered his clouds to desist. Seeing that the fierce wind and rain had now ceased, the sky had become clear of rain clouds, and the sun had risen, Lord Krishna, the lifter of Govardhan Hill, spoke to the cowherd community as follows.
Lord Krishna said, My dear cowherd men, my dear cowherd men, please go out with your wives, children, and possessions. Give up your fear. The wind and rain have stopped, and the river's high waters have subsided. After collecting their respective cows and loading their paraphernalia into their wagons, the cowherd men went out. The women, children, and the elderly persons gradually followed them. While all living creatures looked on, the Supreme Personality of Godhead put down the hill in its original place, just as it had stood before. All the residents of Vrindavana were overwhelmed with ecstatic love, and they came forward and greeted Sri Krishna according to their individual relationships with him, some embracing him, others bowing down to him, and so forth. The cowherd women presented water mixed with yogurt and unbroken barley corns as a token of honor, and they showed auspicious benedictions upon him. Mother Yashoda, Mother Rohini, Nanda Maharaja, and Balarama, the greatest of the strong, all embraced Krishna. Overwhelmed with affection, they offered him their blessings. In the heavens, O king, all the demigods, including the Siddhas, Sadhyas, Gandharvas, and Charanas, sang the praises of Lord Krishna and showered down flowers in great satisfaction.
You can complete, Pranav.
Okay. My dear Parikshit, the demigods in heaven resoundingly played their conch shells and kettle drums, and the best of the Gandharvas, led by Tumburu, began to sing. Surrounded by his loving cowherd boyfriends and Lord Balarama, Krishna then went off to the place where he had been tending to his cows. The cowherd girls returned to their homes, singing joyfully about the lifting of Govardhana hill and other glorious deeds performed by Lord Krishna, who had so deeply touched their hearts.
Jai. So beautiful, right? So this is our dear Lord Krishna. So lot of things for us to learn from this pastime. So what we'll do now is we'll go around and let us hear what was something which really touched you. What was your reflection from these two pastimes, from this pastime? So we'll start with Abhinav Prabhu.
Probably the one thing that stayed with me was when Krishna says that everybody comes on this planet as a consequence of the karma that they have gained in their previous lives, and they spend their life based on their karmic reactions, and they go away when their karma runs out.
Yeah, that point really stuck to me too. Like like when Krishna said, well, why are we praying to Indra? Like whatever has to come to you is going to come anyway, happiness or distress. And we're just coming because of karma. So yeah, nice point.
Is happiness, distress, fear, and sense of security all arise as the effects of all karma.
On karma, yeah.
That really stayed with me.
Yeah, nice, Prabhuji. Renuka Mataji.
So, Prabhuji, I have one question about what you just said. If everything is because of our karma, then what's the use of astrology? And sometimes when these brahmanas suggest, let's go for this sort of puja or this sort of austerity to gain something. So is that all just something made by them?
No, very nice question, Mataji. So this question was asked to Srila Prabhupada actually, that what is the use of astrology and why is it important to look at charts? So Srila Prabhupada gave a very nice example. He said, when outside it is raining, right, you have two choices. Either you go outside in the rain and you get wet, or you take an umbrella and you protect yourself and you still go out in the rain. So same way, astrology is like that umbrella. So you know what is going to come, but as Brahmanas, they suggest that you can do this puja or that puja, or you can do this part. You're just still going in the rain, but you have some protection.
Okay.
So that is the difference.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And the point I like is whatever come in your way, always surrender to Krishna and just have a faith that Krishna will always protect you.
Yeah, that's so powerful. Even that is like, imagine like how all the Brajavasis, they immediately went to Krishna. They just had so much firm faith that Krishna. And if you notice, the ladies, they first said, Krishna, can you please protect the cows? Right? And then they said, also protect us, because we are your devotees. And also this point about how, like when Krishna lifted the hill and he said that you please come in, they had no hesitation that, oh, this will fall. They had so much faith in Krishna. So very nice point. Thank you, Mataji.
I was also thinking, Prabhuji, Krishna could have fought the clouds. He could have fought Indra.
Yeah.
But
why he did that? Because he wanted to glorify his devotee Govardhan.
Yeah.
Because Govardhan was giving so much, right? He gave them water with waterfalls. He used to give grass to the cows. He used to have caves where all the gopas and the gopis could actually take rest during the hot sun, right? Like he gave so much, and he wanted to actually glorify. And somewhere our acharyas say that Govardhan, actually his back was itching. So by lifting Govardhan and by Indra then having these storms, it was like a back massage for Giriraj. It was not hurting Giriraj. So Krishna, by doing one thing, like by lifting Govardhan, so many different things happen. Krishna is able to manage all these different things by one pastime. So okay, so let us go
on that astrology thing, Prabhu. I don't remember who said it, but I remember hearing from someone. Some Prabhuji said that an astrology chart is like a PDF of your karma. It's a PDF report of your karma. It tells you what you have done, but you cannot change it.
Yes. However, Srila Prabhupada has gone one step further, and he said that when you actually dance in kirtan and you clap your hands in front of the deities, all your lines, they will change. Your karma will just burn away if you become Krishna conscious. You will get token karma. You will still get token karma, but Krishna will take care. So that is also very important.
Thank you for sharing this.
That is great too. Yeah.
So that's why it is very important in kirtan. We have to clap our hands and dance. Then Srila Prabhupada said that everything changes. Krishna will just protect you.
Yeah. On that note, Prabhuji, I heard Amog Leela Prabhuji said, if you are doing 16 rounds of chanting, then you are not bound by any Graha Nakshatra or something.
Yes, exactly. It is true. Then you have firm faith in Krishna's plan. Krishna is protecting you always. Okay, let's hear from Pranav. Pranav, Sai Prabhu and Mataji.
What I liked about the chapter, like two things. Like one, as you said, I liked how Krishna, with his every decision, whether it's like fighting demons or whether he's playing with his friends, he's always benefiting someone. Like when he was lifting Govardhana hill, he was benefiting the Govardhana hill. Like with his touch, the Govardhana hill got blessed, and also the ground which he stepped on is also blessed. Like he cares about like everyone, like even his smallest devotees to his largest devotees. He doesn't show any partiality. He has
that's so beautiful. That's very beautiful, Pranav. Thank you for sharing that. You wanted to say something more? Okay, that's good. No, I thought I cut you.
He even blessed Kalindi, that he's a snake, right? That's Kalindi snake.
Kalia snake, yeah.
Kalia. Kalias, right? Yeah. He even blessed Kalia, who is like, uh, like he didn't, yeah, with his footsteps, yeah. Permanent
So,
footsteps.
so some devotees, they say, Prabhuji, like how Krishna was dancing on the hoods of Kalia, right? So Kalia had a lot of poison. Krishna danced on the hoods of Kalia and all the poison went away, right? Same way, when we chant the holy name, Krishna is dancing on our tongue. And when Krishna is dancing on our tongue gets purified. So, same way, like how Krishna purified Kalia and liberated him, same way, when we chant the holy name, Krishna is actually dancing on our tongues. Okay, nice, Prabhuji. Would you like to share something more, Prabhuji? You and Mataji?
The essence is like everybody said the same, like, if you just believe in him, no matter what, he'll be there to protect you.
Yeah. That Shraddha is so important, right? Having that faith. Sometimes we feel that, oh, we are the doer, like we have to do it, right? But if we have faith in Krishna, then Krishna will protect us. Like, and very nice example here is of our Indra. Even though Indra is a devotee, right? Like this whole pastime was done for Krishna's pleasure. Indra is a devotee, but Indra was put in a position where he showed a lot of pride and arrogance, and he said, "I am the doer. They should worship me." Right? A lot of times we feel that, right? Oh, why we are not getting this respect, this fame, right? Why people are not giving me credit, right? And this is a very, very nice pastime for us to remember that just like Indra's pride was crushed by Krishna, same way we have to be always, fully surrendered to Krishna, and then Krishna will protect us. Nice. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Bhakti Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam everybody.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
So to me, when I was reading, Krishna was asking, he was lifting Govardhana hill, and then he's asking all the Brajvasis to come under and take shelter. Right? It felt like he was asking, he was calling everybody, like all of us, and take shelter. So it felt like calling, and that was very touching for me. That was one I'm taking away from today's session.
That's a nice point. He actually calls all the devotees, right? Please come,
Right.
come.
Right now,
Same way, like he's calling us. Yeah. Like same way he's calling us also. Like question is, do we have the firm faith to go towards him, or we feel like, no, Krishna, my umbrella is stronger than yours, right?
Yes, Raj. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Mataji. Any other final comments or reflections from anybody?
Could I say one?
Yes, please go ahead, Pranav.
So my other one was like how Prabhuji said, how like everybody just listened to Krishna so willfully, and like how they didn't even doubt like Krishna. Like when he said everybody come under the hill, they didn't even think one time like how is he even lifting this? They only thought that Krishna is like saving them from the storm and that he will be with us like everywhere and every time, and by sheltering everybody, I think Krishna made sure that everyone will know that Krishna is always with them and will always help them if they're in trouble.
Bravo.
So
very nice, Pranav. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
basically, I think we discussed a few Bhakti Vrikshas before. There is no logic there actually looking. Krishna.
No
When
logic.
Krishna is doing
Yes,
something,
Prabhuji.
there's no logic. Vrajvasis, Gopis, they're just believing, like that.
Yeah, no logic. You're right. There's no logic. Like they're like, this is Krishna, our love of life.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we are not that capable to estimate Krishna's ability. Actually, he's like universal, right? We
Yeah.
so
Yeah, exactly. Like that is like love. Love actually. That's not even Shraddha, it's love. It's
yeah.
prema. Yeah, it's love. Nice. Okay. Any final comments, Renuka Mataji? You always have some nice questions, which makes us, think some more. So please share.
So Prabhuji, I mean, Brajvasis has like unflinching faith on Krishna.
Hmm.
Whatever Krishna says, they always follow. And so no question, but I wish we could be like that.
Yeah, that's
Long, long
the
way to go, but that's the
yeah. And
desire.
our how will and question then the question for us to ask is how can we get that unflinching faith, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So what do you feel? How can we get this unflinching faith that Krishna is, everything? He is our supreme personality of Godhead. He loves us. He's been waiting for us. Like how Mataji said, he's calling us. Please come. Come under my umbrella so I can protect you. I can take care of you. But we don't have that faith. So how can we develop that faith that we have to just go under Krishna's shelter? Bataiye, what do you feel?
Prabhuji, I'm not even qualified to answer
No,
that.
we know. No, we know the answers. We know the answers.
So yeah, definitely, chanting and developing love for Krishna, because then only if we love Krishna, we'll have faith on him. And
Yeah,
to develop our love, definitely chanting, and for chanting, obviously listening about the pastimes of Krishna, kirtans, that helps. Shravanam, kirtanam,
perfect. Perfect answer. Yes, it all comes down to love. Like how Sai Prabhu was saying, love. Right? When we love Krishna, like there's no question, there's no logic. Like Prabhuji was saying, no logic. We just love Krishna. We believe him. And we can develop that by, like you said, hearing, reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Like today, when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, this pastime will now remain in our hearts.
Mhm.
And after when we read, when we discuss, then it will go really deep in our hearts. Now next time when you see rain, right? When you see hailstorms, when you see thunder, we will remember this pastime. Oh, like how the Brajvasis, they went under Krishna's shelter. Same way we have to go under Krishna's shelter. And these rainstorms, hail, they come in our lives every day in terms of sufferings, right? Whenever there is any suffering in our life, right, we just immediately have to go under Krishna's shelter. So that should be our meditation. Okay, so we'll stop here. And now we will sing the Narsingha Arti together. And Narsingha Dev, always protects his devotees. So we can all sing together. Okay, is everyone ready?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste
Narasimhaya. Praladadayine. Hiranyakakshi Purvakshaha. Shilatankanakalaye. Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimho Yato Yami Tato Narsimha Vahi Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho Narasimha Madhim Sharanam Prapadye Tavakara Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Sringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। जय नरसिंहदेव, जय नरसिंहदेव, नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव। जय प्रहलाद महाराज, प्रहलाद महाराज, प्रहलाद महाराज, जय प्रहलाद महाराज, जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद, जय जय गुरुदेव, 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 जय जय गुरुदेव। निताय गौरा हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौरा हरि बोल। नरसिंहदेव भगवान की
जय,
प्रहलाद महाराज की जय।
जय।
और प्रेमानंदे हरि
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 बोल।
बोल।